Hello, everyone. Welcome to Global Government News. Today is Monday, February 14th, 2011, and I'm Darko. Please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com, ggnonline.com. This is going to be an article that we pretty much left off with. It's called Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker Readies National Guard Against Unions. I received this from a viewer, and I appreciate that. The link, it says Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, Republican, said Friday that he is willing to mobilize the state's National Guard force in order to address the potential repercussions of his state proposal to eliminate collective bargaining rights for state employees. I covered this article on the 12th. And it says here from the AP, Governor Scott Walker says the Wisconsin National Guard is prepared to respond wherever is necessary in the wake of his announcement that he wants to take away nearly all collective bargaining rights from the state employees. Walker said Friday that he hasn't called the Guard into action, but he has briefed them and other state agencies. I wonder what those are. In preparation for any problems that could result in a disruption of state services like staffing at prisons. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. It says this is a shocking development, and it says that it'll represent 17,000 workers. It ends collective bargaining for public employees in our state after 50 years of management and workers solving problems together. So, and that's in Wisconsin. So I think they're real pro-union up there, so it's a big deal. Mock Hilo raid of exercise Cobra Gold 2011. It says U.S. Marines aid an injured Royal Thai Marine here, and it's basically an exercise, and they're celebrating their 30th anniversary of it. So I guess they're gonna have a cake and blow out some candles too, huh? It says Brazil arrests 35 in swoop on Rio police corruption. At least 35 people, mostly Rio de Janeiro police officers, were arrested on Friday on suspicion of colluding with drug gangs as the Brazilian city attempts to clean itself up before hosting the 2014 World Cup and Olympic Games 2 years later. Then we have Swiss says no to gun control vote. Swiss voters have thrown out an initiative to prohibit the possession of firearms at homes in a nationwide referendum that sought to curb gun violence in the country. Says final results show that 20 out of 26 cantons were against, while 56.3% of the population rejected the initiative, AFP reported on Sunday. The proposal was introduced by an alliance of non-governmental groups and center-left parties in order to have rifles stored in armories instead of keeping them at residential areas because, well, hey, someone's breaking your house and they're going to kill you. All you got to do is run to the armory and go get your rifle, and well, your family will be killed by then, probably. Critics, chocolate financing, Ivory Coast, Gabago. It says some of the cocoa and Valentine's Day chocolate probably came from a West African country where the man in power decades is still clinging to office. Now, this is such a PR piece. This just makes me sick. And activists say consumers might also think twice if they knew unpaid 5-year-olds helped produce it. God, dude. Isn't that just horrible? That's just horrible, man. It's like I don't think Gabago's going anywhere. They pretty much lost. The people don't. The people want him there, and that's why they were basically rioting and all that. And yeah, they have their little color revolutions like they're having in Iran and Algeria and Yemen, and it's all basically nice George Soros CFR backed, right? And CIA provocateured. And so here they didn't get what they want, so they're going to pout, and they're going to pout on Valentine's Day and say, ooh, I hope you feel guilty about the chocolate that you eat. And one thing I'm going to point out before I left you is that these little hearts things, because, it's like with Easter, it's an Easter egg hunt. It's about fertility. It's about, has not too much to do, well, you could say, yeah, it has to do with religion. But it also has to do with what basically the spring and fertility and the eggs. And this is all Illuminati stuff. The same with the February 14th holiday, Valentine's Day, which is not really a holiday, but my thing is it looks like two snakes kissing. So obviously that doesn't look like a real heart, because if you saw a real heart, it does not look like that. It's a bunch of tubes hanging off not even a real shape. So that's what I think it is. Two snakes kissing. America's on alert over terrorism threat. The threat of terrorism against the U.S. was possibly at its highest level since September 11th, 2001 attacks according to a grim assessment by the Homeland Security Janet Napolitano. Al-Qaeda remained at the core of concerns, particularly on the Arab Peninsula, via U.S.-born Muslim cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, now based in Yemen, who's most likely working for the CIA. But Al-Qaeda-inspired local groups and homegrown radicals were augmenting that threat, Ms. Napolitano said. Quote, we have made many important strides in securing our country from terrorists since 9/11, but the threat continues to evolve. In other words, governments are getting better and better at staging false flag terror attacks against their own people. Military help sought on Canada-U.S. border, with the U.S. Canada border under sudden intense scrutiny in the United States. A handful of American senators placed it underway. An ever harsher spotlight Thursday by asking for the military's help in patrolling the boundary. And yeah, I guess they've been doing this a while. They've been wanting troops on the border for a while. The U.S. doesn't want it, and then they keep coming back at it. Democratic senators from the states located along the 6,400-kilometer border are asking the U.S. Department of Defense to provide military radar in an effort to nab drug traffickers. A lot of drug traffickers coming from Canada, I tell you. Who use low-flying aircraft to move their product from Canada into the United States. So, bunch of BS. It's all part of the North American Union, right? Canada kept U.S. border talks under wraps. Well, man, that's because they're a bunch of scheming scum, right? Says the federal government deliberately kept negotiations on a border deal with Washington secret while it planned ways to massage public opinion. God, in favor of the pact. Wow. They really do see us as just plebs, don't they? Just mindless plebs, just like little parasites bumping into each other. Lady Gaga arrives on a giant egg at Grammy Awards, and this just makes me really, really satisfied that I made videos about her and how she's nothing more than a New World Order mind control program. And so there you go. There's the egg, the fertility egg. And she just continues to turn heads and prove everybody right? A star is hatched. Lady Gaga burst out of a giant egg on Grammy's stage after her dramatic red carpet entrance. And it says singer emerged after being in incubation. Ooh, incubation. She spent 3 hours inside the egg getting into character. Star wins 3 gongs, including Best Pop Vocal Album. And if you look at some of these pictures here you go. Looking kind of evil and satanic. And here she goes, chilling in her egg. And, it's got some heads on the piano. I didn't watch this, so I'm just kind of looking at these for the first time. And look at this. Shoulder horns add shock to Lady Gaga's otherwise bland Grammy performance. So see, another thing, she has horns, right? And she has them right on her shoulders. But pretty freaky stuff. And, well, hey, everybody says she's an artist. Back off. She's just a brilliant artist, a brilliant person, talented. I'm sure she's talented, a singer and a pianist and all that stuff. And she's a great role model. So, girl 9 locked in bathroom for years. A couple kept a 9-year-old girl in a barricaded bathroom for years when she wasn't in school, U.S. police say. Officials in Montgomery County say 50-year-old Brian Hart and 49-year-old Rivi Hart were legal guardians of the girl. And it says Dayton police say that since age 3, the girl mostly stayed in a bathroom, blocked by dressers, sleeping on a cot. The couple blame behavioral problems, but authorities say the girl's development is normal. I don't see how she could be normal after that. Shy girl Gemma Benjamin drops dead after her first kiss. Girl kissed boy for the first time. She collapsed months later, died from rare heart syndrome. So a teen collapsed and died minutes after her boyfriend kissed her for the first time in an inquest heard today. So crazy stories. Activists target dog sled rise after dog deaths. And I'm sure you guys saw this in Yahoo about the, sled dogs basically being called, 100 of them. And, not even 2 or 3 days later, we had this come out, right? Which is, again, is a PR piece for animal activists. And I don't think anybody is for, just slaughtering sled dogs for nothing. I'm not. But what I'm not for is banning everything and anything, right? We just came across a statistic recently about how alcohol kills more people than HIV, diabetes. I'm not sure about cancer, but or heart disease, but it kills a lot of people. And you think they're going to ban it? I don't think so. If they do, it's going to be on the black market and it's going to be just like drugs. But either way, you get what I'm saying. They're not going to ban alcohol. But they're always trying to ban stuff. I'm talking about the federal government, and they use liberal groups, youth groups, not youth groups, but you know what I'm talking about, grassroots, green groups, to do this stuff. And unfortunately, they're going to ban, they want to ban sledding altogether. So you have these people. Yeah, I know that a lot of them, you know, it's a popular activity among tourists. Well, isn't it like a popular activity among people that live in Alaska and Siberia and Upper Canada, to get around, that don't have cars or snowmobiles? So if you ban it, how the hell are they going to get around? I mean, I know this isn't like, you know, 1800 anymore, but still, I'm sure there's people like in Alaska, they still need planes to get around to their home. So there's some places you might need a dog sled. So if you ban that, you're talking about taking away people's transportation. And then you can go look further down the road and say, well, what if the shit hits the fan? Well, you can't ride sleds and have dogs pull you anymore because, well, it's banned. So basically, all I'm saying is they could have just put the dogs up for adoption. They didn't have to kill them all, and I was pretty angry when I heard that story, when I covered it. But I'm not surprised to see the activists came out and want to ban it. So that's just the way it is. That's the way it'll always be. And they'll use government to take away more rights, more freedoms, and anything like that, until you have absolutely no freedom whatsoever. And then I don't know what they're going to protest for or what they're going to ban. So either way, this is GGN and I'm Darko. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Take care.